We're now going to look at some trigonometry questions. And these are the questions that you need your calculator, so I've got one here. The first one's really interesting. If you just calculate into two decimal places what these numbers are, I'm just going to use my calculator that I've got here. The first one is the tan of 50 degrees, so I just put tan 50 equals, and it's 1.19 to two decimal places. So it's as simple as writing in an answer. The next one, cos of 52. So back to our calculator, cos 52 equals, and 0.615. Third number is a 5, so we generally round it up to 0.62. 0.62. So they're the first calculation ones. Now we move on to some of the trickier challenges. Here, we're trying to find the missing side or angle shown by the x, so we've got the x here, and we're trying to work that out using sine, cos, or tan. Now, we have to work out which rule to use. So we know our angle here. We know x is the side opposite. So this is going to be the side opposite. This is the side adjacent. Adjacent meaning it's next to the angle. Opposite meaning across from. We know that this is the hypotenuse, the longer side, because it's directly across from the right angle. So if we know the opposite side, or we're interested in the opposite side and the hypotenuse, the rule that happens to hold that together is sine. A sine of an angle equals opposite divided by hypotenuse. So now we can start to put some figures in. We know the angle is 60, so sine of 60 is going to equal the opposite, which is x divided by 19. Next, we're going to have to calculate what the sine of 60 is. So if we get sine 60 equals 0.87. So if we pop that in, 0.87 equals x divided by 19. Now we're interested in what x equals. So here we've got x divided by 19. The opposite of x divided by 19 is to get rid of that divided by 19. The opposite of that is to multiply by 19. So we're going to multiply both sides. Okay, because that will get rid of the x down here. So let's go back to this 0.87. Multiplied by 19 equals 16.53. So 16.53 equals, and on this side, x multiplied by 19 divided by 19. Remember, we've multiplied both sides by 19. So our rule when we're doing this, if we do something to one side of the equation, one side of the equal sign, we have to do the same to the other. So x multiplied by 19 divided by 19, the two 19s just cancel out. So that's what x is going to equal. And so the side is going to equal 16.53 centimetres. The next one. We've got this angle here of 30 degrees. Here's our right angle. So opposite the right angle is the hypotenuse. We're not interested in the hypotenuse this time. We've got the side opposite and the side adjacent, or next to. So let's think of our rules. Sine is opposite over hypotenuse. Cosine is the side adjacent divided by hypotenuse. Tan is the side opposite divided by adjacent. So the tan of 30, the tan of the angle is going to equal opposite divided by adjacent. So write down our rule. Then substitute in what we know. Tan of 30 is going to equal x divided by 50. So now we're going to need to calculate the tan of 30. We've got tan 30 equals 0.577, so 0.58. 0.58 Now, we want to get x by itself. We want to know what x is. So here we're going to multiply and multiply both sides by 50. We've got x divided by 50. The opposite of dividing by 50 is to multiply by 50. And by doing that, we'll get rid of the x. So 0.58 multiplied by 50, I think that's going to equal 0.29. And you can check that on the calculator. On that side, multiply 50 is going to equal 29. So let's do it with the calculator. 0.58 multiplied by 50. 0.58 multiplied by 50 should equal 29. It does equal 29 there. So let's pop that back into what we're working on. So 29 on this side, we've got x multiplied by sides by 50 divided by 50. That's just going to leave us with x. So the missing side is going to equal 29 units in centimetres again. And moving on to the next and last of the trigonometry problems. Here we're missing an angle. We've got a side opposite and a side hypotenuse. You might remember back that that's the sine. Sine is equal to opposite divided by hypotenuse. So the sine of x is going to equal, opposite is 15 divided by 50. 15 divided by 50 is going to be 0.3. You can check that on the calculator. 15 divided by 50 equals 0.3. So now, when we go back and have a look at where we are, we know that the sine of x equals 0.3. So now we have to use the inverse function of sine to work out what x is. So this is what we need to do when we're working back to find the angle. So let's have a look at what we do here. We go the inverse of sine, 30. So I've just got here 0 sine 0.3. Let's click here. Inverse, sine to the negative 1.3 equals 17.46, rounding up that last digit. So x equals 17.46, and remembering our units, it's in degrees. So there are our different calculations around trigonometry, sine